So my Jeep is up in the air and I have a little bit of work to do on it because I think last May the exhaust broke on it, and rather than fix it at the time when I wouldn't have had much time during the summer, I just chopped it off. So I think it ends probably somewhere just behind the driver's door underneath, and there ain't no exhaust box in it at the moment, but as you heard, it's not really that loud. So my Jeep is a Toyota Landcruiser Amazon, which is different than the normal Landcruisers. It's a much bigger body and it's completely different shape. It's much more heavy duty underneath in terms of the back axle and the front axle setup. The thing weighs close to 3 tons and it has a 6-cylinder 4.2 litre diesel engine in it compared to the standard 4-cylinder 3 litre engine in the normal Landcruiser. So there's the exhaust that I took off it. It's actually in 2 sections, and I've been driving it around for a good few months, well since May last year actually, like that. But the way these engines are, they're not that noisy anyway, so no one really noticed. So this is what I bought to replace it. It's a straight pipe from a Toyota Galanza, which is a 1.3 turbo, but it is a very big bore pipe. I had to pay €10 for that, which is not much money, even though I hate paying for stuff. The flexi joint is gone, but the pipe there is very good condition. There's no rust on it. And I had this back box, I think it's off a Toyota Celica, a fairly new one, and it has a nice kind of a straight tailpipe on it, so I'll probably use that as my tailpipe. This is the main sections to replace the rotten parts and the boxes in this one here, and whatever's left up there once I cut out the cat. Aha! Now we're in business. Although I forgot to disconnect this here, but I'll do that in a jiffy. So this is all 13 foot of my Toyota Amazon exhaust. When I start up here, the turbo will be on up here, and I got those 2 bolts out without them ringing off. Then we have the catalytic converter in here, which is basically just like a honeycomb with a whole lot of precious metals in it, which react with the exhaust gases to reduce emissions. Now, on a diesel engine, this is not crucial for a DOE test or even an NCT test with an older car, so I don't really need that. And it's just restricting the flow of gases through the exhaust. So I'm going to slice it off there, slice it off here, and weld a straight piece of pipe in there, the same size pipe as is on it. Then it comes down here onto this joint, which is fine, there's no problem. Both of those pipes are fine, good condition. So I'll put a bit of paste on that joint and clamp it back up. That'll be grand. We come around here then to the first point where it was rotting away, because this was probably the original pipe and it was joined onto a newer exhaust box. So what I'm going to do here is going to cut off all that crap that's here, and I'm going to replace the exhaust box with a piece of this straight pipe here and replace it all the way around to here. I'll make some new hangers for it, so this will be all gone, and again cut off the crap there because this part of the pipe is good, and I'm going to have to weld then this section of the exhaust onto whatever I'm replacing that with. So that'll be all fine. This goes up over my axle, that's why it's such a unique and bent shape. I wasn't even going to attempt to try and make that. That's a perfectly good piece of exhaust, which is grand. And this is actually fine here, but what I am going to do again is slice that off there, and won't bother with that. We'll stick on a new piece of pipe then about the length of that box. Again, straight pipe from my Galanza pipe. And then I'm going to slice this nice tailpipe off this Celica pipe and weld that on as the tailpipe on my Jeep. So I just welded in that piece of pipe there now. It's only tacked in position, like there's still a big gap in around there, but as I said, I'll tack everything together. So that's that much done, and I'll bolt back on that section, and then I'll remount that piece back up onto the Jeep, just so I can take a few measurements and just see where I'm going from there. I did have a distinct feeling that this job was going too well, and what's after happening is the switch for my MIG welder is after breaking. That's one of the 2 copper contacts, the other one is broken. So I'm going to have to fix that first before I can do any more. This is the little copper contact. It's supposed to be straight. I can straighten it out, that's no problem, but right down there on the joint there's a crack in it, which you can just about see there, so I'm going to have to make a new one of them now. I won't really have one that has that little end on it, obviously. I'll just make it out of a little strip of scrap copper here, but watch her sack that. Right, that piece of copper is quite malleable now at the moment, which is not really ideal, so what I'll do is I'll just smack it with a hammer a few times, which will work hard in the copper and make it a bit stiffer, so it should work in the switch. I'll do that before I cut out the shape. This goes in here. Do you want to have a look at how this works? Actually, it's just about gone now. So the one on the top there is my new contact, and then when I push the switch, in theory, it goes brrrr, brrrr, brrrr. It's very, very delicate, but it does work, which is the main thing, and hopefully it'll just work long enough for me to finish off my exhaust. It's quite cold in here, so I have the heater on. That's the background noise, and you can just about see here, that's the end of the exhaust pipe. We're just underneath the back of the Jeep here at the moment now, and that's as far as I've gotten so far. I have it mounted and hanging properly, and I have all the joints seam welded up. I'll show you the mounting points I made. Okay, so you can see I just got a piece of, I think it's a 6mm steel bar. I don't need a heavy bar here because I have no exhaust boxes, so the pipe itself is all I have to carry. And I just bent it into shape and then welded it on there. So we're going okay now. So this is the tailpipe I want to use. It's off Toyota Celica. I think it says, yeah, Toyota it says on it. So Toyota genuine parts, huh? So I just cleaned it up with the wire brush on the end of the grinder, and I want to mount it up here. Now, you would expect to have it mounted coming out there, but I don't know, anyone who ever saw my old Mitsubishi Pajero, I'm not sure if there's a video of it on YouTube, I had it kind of coming out sideways like that. I'd like to do that with this one here, although the bracket for the hitch is in the way, but I don't think that'll give me any problem with clearance anyway, so I might have a kind of a corner exit exhaust here. So I'm just about done now. I have exhaust fully mounted. That's the position of the tailpipe. I just kind of wanted it coming out sideways. I don't really know why. Hopefully it sounds good now, because it's after taking me the whole Saturday to do this. I don't think I'll have any leaks because most of the welds went fine, but I've so many welded joints. It wouldn't be unusual to have 1 or 2 leaks somewhere, which I'll just have to touch up. And I have a 1 flange joint in the middle, which I put plenty of exhaust paste on. So I'll just leave it ticking over for a while before I put too much pressure through the exhaust. Get that flange paste to go off, so that'll make a good seal as well. So start it up now. Right, hopefully it sounds nice. I think it will. I like that a lot. You can definitely hear the turbo. I'd say you'll hear the turbo whistle a lot more now because the cat's gone out, because you can even hear it. You can hear the turbo now even just on pickover, so. But there's a really deep roar off this, and that's exactly what I wanted. A deep 6-cylinder roar. You can still feel bits of rust and stuff coming out through the exhaust, because all the exhaust they use is all second-hand pieces, but sweet. I know any of my American subscribers would probably be used to seeing videos like this with Chevys and Dodges and, you know, Ford F-Series pickups, but in Europe and Asia, this is what we got. Amazon.